It's finally time to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 7. This is my decision day. I'm so happy for Chris. He's finally stood up to her. He's got the backbone. He's come forward and he's just like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore, because she's been treating him like absolute shit since the wedding. Like, she took one look at him at the aisle and she just was like, get the hell away from me. I want nothing to do with you. Like, she wouldn't even sit down and talk to him, really. Like, he managed to get her to talk to him off camera, and even then, like, when he's been asking her questions, like, what is the problem? What are the differences? What don't you like about me? Things like that. And she's just like, she's got no answer. She absolutely has nothing against him, except she doesn't like the way he looks. And granted, I saw his teeth. They weren't the best. Not the best teeth at all. I'm not a fan of them. But, teeth can be fixed. A bitter and cold heart and spirit and soul cannot. And she is all of those things. She is an evil bitch. I mean, honestly, I don't know how she ever expects anyone to go out with her ever again. Anyone to even want to be a friend. I couldn't understand why the other women, like Katina and Jasmina, was standing up for her. Like, why would you? Why would you stand up for this piece of shit? And that's what she is. She's a piece of shit. Like, there's no redeeming qualities about her. I mean, honestly. And I don't know how many times I've said I know. But it's just absolutely disgusting. I'm so happy that he's fine. He actually looks happy. Chris looks happy for the first time since after the wedding, because he did. She wouldn't even speak to him after the ceremony. She was in the courthouse when they actually signed the papers to say, yeah, we're married, and she tried to get out of it. It was like, Jesus Christ, you're supposed to give this man a chance. When Pastor Cal said, like, you were coming on here to marry a stranger, you knew you were going to move in with them, you were going to live with them. When she was saying about splitting the apartment, the time between it, because she wanted to get to know the girls. Bitch just wanted 15 minutes of fame. That's all she wanted. She wanted to somehow get some fame, and I don't understand how she didn't understand how her personality would come across. Like, she says, I'm a good person, which means you're not a good person. But to, like, think that other people were going to be like, yeah, this is a chick I want to be around. Like, on the bachelorette party, hen night, whatever it is, she literally said, oh, I can't stand these girls, and oh, I'm such a fun person, and all this crap. And I was like, where's the fun? Where's the good person here? Where's the nice? I didn't see anything, any redeeming qualities. And I'm so happy for Chris that he's finally said, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. I want nothing to do with this woman. Thank God, because even her mother was like on the phone saying, look, think about how you're going to come across. This isn't good. And, oh, God, the shame I would feel if that was my personality. She's not even an attractive woman. She's actually had work done to look like this. And she thinks she's attractive. Like, she thinks she's too good for Chris. Like, honestly, I wouldn't normally be ragging on someone's looks, but she's just an evil person with no personality except bad. There's nothing redeeming about her. Can't stand her, as you may have guessed. So hopefully we won't see her again. Because all she wanted to do was hang out with these other women and grow and have an experience and a bond. And when people talk about the experience, because I also watch Married at First Sight Australia, when they talk about the experience, it means they're there for free housing or to, to meet all these other people. I think she must be living with her mother, or she must be homeless or something, because she's desperate to get in that apartment. And I'm so glad it's done. I'm so glad. So glad. Okay, let's move on to the other couples. Michael and Jasmina. Okay. Jasmina seems, at first I was liking her and thinking she's a bit dull, but she'll come around. But right now I'm thinking she reminds me a bit of Alyssa. She's obviously spent more time with her husband and is actually trying with him, whereas the other one was not at all. Wouldn't even spend 40 minutes with him. But it just seems like she doesn't want to know him either. Like, she left to be with her dog when she was talking, saying, "Oh, I need to go take care of it or him and get childcare or whatever for the dog, doggy daycare." And I was just like, "Has she got a child? Did I miss that?" I'm sure they don't have children on this one, because in the Australian one they do have children and stuff. Some of them, and they usually pair them with people who really want children or people who already have children. So it's not like you're just getting sprung. Oh, here's a child. But honestly, he might yell. He might when we don't see it with the cameras, which I don't understand because I'm pretty sure last year we saw, like with Jose and stuff and Rachel, we saw cameras in the apartment. So why are we not seeing that? Why is there no cameras in the living area, which there was last time? Seems absolutely stupid because we should be able to see this shit. I'm trying to think now. There was a bedroom, wasn't it? It wasn't like they were just in the living room with the bed, you know. No, that was Australia. Australia, the beds are in the same kind of space as the living area, so I can understand not having cameras in there. But they've got bedrooms. I'm so confused. He lied about having ever living with a female. Like, she had a male roommate, so she said straight away, that's my roommate. You know, straight there out in the open. He had an opportunity there to say, oh, I live with a female or whatever. But he didn't. And the fact that he lives with 2 different women, I assume one of them he was having a relationship with or something, because I just don't understand it myself. Like, it just seems odd. And the fact that he lied to her and he never told her. He said, no, I've never lived with a woman. And I know that can mean, oh, I've never lived, like, with a woman in a relationship. But he still lives with women. So he understands how it is to live with women. And, you know, you need to pick up after yourself, leave the toilet seat down and all that stuff. You know, clean up if you spilt your pee. It's just, I just don't get it. Even that first time on the honeymoon when he was like, oh, you cut me off. Like, she didn't cut him off. Nothing at all to do with that. Anyway, Mark and Lindsay. See, these two, I like Lindsay. It's strange, because at first I was like, oh, I don't know. But she's grown on me, and she's trying to do everything to help him. And he's just not being, you know, very helpful in the way back. And he's just like, oh, it's her. She's too much. And the state of his apartment. He couldn't have put all that stuff in storage before he went on his honeymoon or anything like that. Why did he have to wait until then? You know, make her come in. I wouldn't have gone in there with those bed bugs. I wouldn't have cleaned up all that. He was moaning about the way she was picking up his stuff. Like, are you kidding me? Unless it's breakable, which it wasn't. What are you moaning about? Like, there's got to be something seriously wrong with you if that's your issue. There's only really Steve and Noy. Now, I'm concerned about this couple because, you know, he hasn't got a full-time job. Now, it says he does freelance work, which to me means he could be bringing in a paycheck, but seeing as they've not said exactly what that is, don't need a figured amount, just, you know, what are you doing? Are you working? Are you doing something? So, he was obviously he had enough saved up that he could go on his travels for like 4 months, so he can't be that, you know, he can't be poor, because you can't afford to do that if you're poor. But, hopefully she gets some stability, because I'm a bit concerned about him, because, you know, just wants to go camping on the beach and stuff, and she wants to be able to, like, wake up out of her bed and get a shower. And I'm not saying you can't go camping once in a while, but she clearly doesn't want to live in a van. Given the fact that we found out this week, which I didn't think we found out in the previous weeks, that she was raised in a refugee camp, I understand now, especially, you know, a need for stability and knowing that he's got a paycheck coming, especially if they're talking about kids, which they are, which, considering where all the other couples are at, didn't expect that so fast. But, yeah, I just worry, you know, for her sake more than his, because, like, her being set on 3 kids and stuff, that was a bit weird, but, you know, things happen. Plans change, so it's not like, even though she seems to think it's set in stone, once you start having kids, then you'll obviously feel a different kind of way, depending on how easy the kids are, and if they're not easy, then you probably will change your mind. Oh yeah, I don't know, there's an obsession with the LED lights, in every room. I found that a bit weird. I've got a light bulb that I can change the colours and stuff, but you know, I'm not obsessed with it. And I mostly just leave it on a white light. And I can use my Alexa to turn it on and off and lower the, you know, it doesn't matter what I can do with the light. It's not that important, you know. Okay, so did I talk about, I think I talked about Mark and Lindsay, didn't I? Yeah. Help move them out of the cesspit. He was annoyed with her, she's too much. They just need to take care of each other in doses and stuff. I just remember now, the other one I didn't speak about was Elijah one and Katina. Now, he's the only one with his own house, and though it needs some updating, She can do that. That's not a bother. Don't know what's with those horrible ass curtains with the coffee on. I mean, I don't know anyone who'd have them short of 30 odd years ago, and even then, so hopefully she can fix that up, because other than that, he seems like he's got his own place and it seems nice, and he's the only one not living with roommates or living in someone else's house or whatever. So, I mean, Lindsay didn't have any roommates either, but neither did Noy, but alright, most of them have got roommates, not all of them. Noy's was a tiny little box of an apartment. I remember seeing it when we were during the first episode or something, when they were showing you everyone's apartment. But anyway, yeah, Katina, I'm just a bit concerned about that, because Elijah one's really pissing me off with all the like, oh, I want to have a home cooked meal and all this shit, and it's like, well, grow up, make your own home cooked meal. Especially because when Pastor Cal came in and he was talking about it, and he was like, well, that wasn't one of your deal breakers, so why are you acting now like it is? Exactly, he's trying to push her to see what she'll put up with, which has pissed me off quite a few times. Hopefully she just stands up to him and it's just like, nope, this is not what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen. So hopefully it'll work out okay, because I can actually see them surviving this and, having a good marriage in the end. I'll be honest, I'm finding more interest in the Australian one. There's a lot of great couples on that, and there's a lot more couples on the Australian one. Anyway, this is my recap of what's happened in the episode, I suppose. It's the first time I've done one of these, and I know I'm jumping in like partway through the season, but with Chris and Alyssa finally splitting up, I just couldn't help myself. I just had to do it, because I love this show so much, and all the different variations of it. I'm from England. I do watch the English one, though it's a bit boring in comparison. The American one is good, and the Australian one is as well. I'm sure I used to watch a New Zealand one as well, but I haven't seen that in a few years. It's probably because I don't download stuff anymore. I just watch it on YouTube. But anyway, hopefully next week I'll be able to come back and tell you about the next episode. So if you liked what I did, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Hope to see you again. Bye.